a lot of what I talk about is geared towards sales, and I talk a little bit about service, but with all the inventory issues that are going on right now, I figured this would be a good time to talk a little bit about how we're marketing our service department. So, starting with the basics, every store should have 3 Google My Business listings, 2 or 3. One for your main listing for your store, and then nested within that main listing should be your service department, and then a separate one for your parts department. Now, there's a lot of schools of thought on this, or a lot of opinions on this. Some people think that, well, by having 3 listings, you have 3 listings to manage. Companies are going to charge more to respond to reviews for 3 listings, and I get that. And by and large, 2/3 of the reviews that you're going to get on your main page are generally for service. But let me tell you why it's important. So if we spend the time optimizing our listing the way we should, so not just for BTOB, brakes, tires, batteries, and oil changes, but for, as much as we can fit in. There are 12, 15 different options of services we provide we can fit into each listing. So if we optimized it for all the things we do, especially, tires, oil changes, brakes and batteries, like I said, we're going to be coming up in more searches. Our service listing is going to be coming up in more searches. So think of it this way. Your main listing, I've seen listings that have 2,300, 3,200 reviews on them on the main listing. And then the service listing has 9 reviews, or even 29 reviews. So let's say you've taken the time to optimize your service listing and it comes up in a search, but you've only got 9 reviews on it, or even you've only got 18 or 20 reviews on it, as opposed to a Grolix, a Discount Tire, a Jiffy Lube, that their service listing has 3,000, 1,000, 500 even reviews on it, and they have a decent star rating. As a consumer, which one would you pick? That's kind of how you have to look at it, is through a consumer's eyes. And some of us have gotten, really blind to what a consumer experience is anymore. So I would highly recommend having someone in your, close friends, trusted friends and family group go through and try to book an appointment through your Google My Business listing and see how easy it is to find an oil change special in your Google My Business listing, and see how easy it is for them. So don't give them any guidance other than, hey, find what my oil change special is on my Google My Business listing and see what their experience is. And then for parts as well, I rarely see any reviews, and honestly, reviews on the parts department is very difficult. They're very difficult to get, because generally, by and large, people are up at the counter, they ask for what they want, they get their part, they pay, they're out. They're kind of a less time-consuming exchange as opposed to service department, where we've got them as an audience sitting in the service waiting lounge, and the service cashier, things like that we can actually capture that good review by posting even a QR code in the service waiting lounge, or with the service cashier. Hey, can you scan this, and can you do me a favor, leave us a good review because you said you were so happy today. Giving that short code to the service advisors. Hey, can you leave us a good review on the service listing because you had such a great experience today. So it's a little bit easier with service department than it is with parts. The only kind of trick I've seen in a parts department is actually having a tent triangle stand on the parts counter with, hey, if you had a good experience today, a QR code, say scan this and leave us a review. And it goes right to the parts listing. Now, by having all these reviews at different spots, you have to have someone manage it, or pay to have someone to manage it. And I get it. A lot of the feedback I get, well, it's just it's not worth the extra money because they're going to charge me a flat rate to manage those reviews. Okay, but what if you had the volume on reviews on there? Like, what if you had got yourself to where you had 500 and then 1,000 and then 3,000 reviews on your service page on Google? Because if you have 100, 150 people passing through your service department 6 days a week, that shouldn't extra couple of hundred reviews per year shouldn't be a difficult goal to achieve. Because we're asking all of them for reviews. Oh, I mean, we should be. We're technically asking every single one for reviews. So make it worth your while to have to pay someone to answer those reviews. By and large, if you have them nested together, for instance, with the Nissan program, Nissan uses Reputation.com and offers it free to the stores to manage their review sites. But you only get alerts for the main listing reviews. It's not set up to give you alerts when there are reviews on the service or parts listing. Just out of the box. I don't know if you can manually set it up that way. That'll be something I have to find out. But it's something I would definitely highly recommend is maximizing your service and parts listings, because we're just not, I don't see anybody really doing a bang up job of it. And then while we're talking about it, the business updates portion of these two listings also severely underutilized. So for example, this past couple of months, we had in the Nissan world, we had a buy 3 get 1 tire for $1 deal. Almost, I want to say 60% of the stores didn't have anything about it on their Google My Business. Okay, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but okay. It definitely is into our benefit if a customer just sees our Google My Business page and doesn't see our website, that we have specials on there that match what's at the tier 1 level, and then also at our tier 3 and on our personal dealer website. It does you a disservice to not match that pricing structure. What about a link under products and services? There's a link you can add to your Google My Business page under products and services. What about linking that to your service menu, where it actually shows all of the services you offer with a distinct pricing menu on your website? The biggest point that customers are looking for, the biggest item, number one item that people are looking for online is, do they have it and how much is it? And that equates to service departments as well. So being transparent with that pricing structure, and again, if they just found our Google My Business page and didn't get our website in their search results, and we don't have a link to the pricing menu, we may have a link to the website, but we need to get them where they want to go in as few clicks as possible. So get them a link to this landing page on your website that has the service menu. Even better if you have a link that shows them competitive comparisons. You're not going to be the lowest price on everything. Nobody expects that. But talk about why. How many certified master techs do you have in the back? How much experience? How much time is there? Do you use Nissan Genuine Auto Parts? Do you exclusively buy your aftermarket parts through Nissan? You can advertise all of that, and that's all value add into the pricing structure that you're sending out to the world. Again, you don't have to be the lowest, but offering your price up right out of the gate is a much better way to earn that business than dependent totally on, well, they'll come into us because they have a Nissan. No, not necessarily. We all know what those biggest points of defection are. We all know what they are: brakes, tires, oil change, and batteries. So we need to be marketing better towards those items that we know they're defecting from us. And generally speaking, if we make it all about price, then yeah, it's going to be all about price, but it doesn't have to be. What I'm getting at is that show them the price, give them the value as to why you're a better option than the Jiffy Lubes, than the discount tires, things like that. I mean, Nissan has a price match guarantee right now for tires, and they'll beat the pricing by 5%. I don't see anybody talking about that. So, or the language they're using on the website is much too complicated. For the 2 stores that I saw that are actually talking about it, the language they're using on the website is much too complicated. No customer's going to read through that on their phone before they book an appointment. Break it down, make it simpler. Sell those value adds and offer that transparency that customers are looking for, and you'll drive up your business. That's all for this week. Happy selling.